Hello? Hello, Bryan?
Yeah, just a minute. Hey, listen, sorry, I don't have a lot of time. It's Bryan from This, That, and the Other. Look. Okay, I want to tell you everything. I want to tell you the truth about wood. You want to know about the real stuff? You want to know why the Earth is hollow and why we're being run by aliens? You want to know about the stuff they're putting in your Gatorade and why you should be eating your dogs? And why renewable resources are a lie and we're living inside of a hologram? And I'll tell you all this, but you have to listen to This, That, and the Other. You have to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Don't tell Sam though. Don't tell him.
Ryan, what are you doing? Are you making an ad without me?
No, listen, I gotta go. Subscribe to This, That, and the Other.
You bastard.
9/11 was a lie. What happened to Building 7?
And now for another episode of Happy News with Perry Kurtz, the perfect little pick-me-up to make your frown turn upside down. And now your host, Perry Kurtz.
Well, welcome to Happy News with Perry Kurtz. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm Perry Kurtz. That would be me, the short old dude here. I'm actually sitting on cushions, so I'll be at an adult height. And we want to welcome you to the podcast. The purpose of our podcast is try to make you feel better about yourselves. And I know just by looking at me, you're happy you're not me. So there, right there, I made you feel better. It's like somebody last week said they recognized me from the Pride Parade. And I said, yeah, I was down there. And a lot of people said, what were you doing at the Pride Parade? They put me up a platform to remind the lesbians what made them become gay. So I do have a purpose.
Classic,
know what it is.
Family-friendly humor, Perry.
What are we doing? Side views
I'm
now?
enjoying that. Are you going to even let them know we're recording, Perry?
Oh,
are you
we're
going to let
recording.
the audio people know what's going on, Perry?
This is live, and we are in video. So if you're only hearing this, you need to go to This, That, and the Other. And what's the other one?
You forgot to take your Alzheimer medicine, didn't you? It's Binge on This.
And Binge on This. Those are the two. Binge on This is basically the big YouTube channel. But you can find us there as well as millions of other podcasts, right?
Classic plug
30 other podcasts. Okay.
Numbers are hard.
27. So you can find us there. But we are in video.
We are in video.
I don't know if I'll be dancing during this one.
Probably not.
It depends on what kind of response we get from our sponsors.
Well, it looks like everybody's been enjoying your latest episode about driving.
Really?
They love it.
How many views have we got? 6?
I think we got about 16 downloads.
16 download.
It came out today. That's a
takes so
download
much
every
to
2
download.
hours, dog.
To download, you have to move your hand.
Takes a lot of effort,
Oh,
especially for a guy like you.
Oh, I've got it all automated.
Well, actually, I retract that statement. I was thoroughly impressed with the amount of people that showed up for your Netflix taping.
I had 22 people
there. As
there.
the producer there, I was ecstatic, and I was quite happy that all your shenanigans actually brought out a good crowd of people.
Yeah, we had 22 people. I had people there I haven't seen in 10 years.
Amazing.
And people I didn't even know.
Didn't even know, only saw you on the James Corden show.
No, they saw the poster and the flyers on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
And they showed up, so that stuff works.
They said they had a chance to see the legend.
Yeah, while he's still alive.
While he's still alive.
If this is considered living.
That was my joke. That's why
right,
today's subject is shenanigans. What type of shenanigans have you gotten into in your lifetime, Perry? You ever done any practical jokes?
Oh, all right. Let's go back to 8th grade. In 8th grade, I had a Spanish teacher. I'm going to say her name because I'm sure she's dead by now.
You're going to eat that mic or you're going to be dead.
Her name is Miss Giambavo. This is 8th grade.
She sounds delightful.
And she was a little tiny woman. She was about 4'8". And I remember one day she came over to me and made me stand up. And she says, Mr. Kurtz, you never shut up. I went, yes, that's true. And I just want you to know that Kurtz in German means short. And I looked down at her and I said, really? You're shorter than I am. And you have a mustache. I think that might have been the wrong thing to do because I stayed after class a lot. Now, she decided...
Comedy's not easy, folks.
No. So she wound up keeping me a whole week. I thought maybe 3 days would be fine.
Was she keeping you or was she keeping you?
I had to stay after school.
I
had to come to her class and sit in the back of the room and not do anything.
You weren't disturbing her?
No, I wasn't allowed to move. I had to just sit there.
Okay.
So I got even. I went out and I bought some itching powder. And I took Scotch tape and I wrapped it backwards over my hand so the sticky side was out.
Fuck.
Wait. And I took it and I put it up along the bottom of the drawer.
Hell
the main drawer
yeah,
of her
bro.
desk. I put the itching powder on wax paper and I put it up on the bottom of the drawer. So she comes in, starts the class, opens the drawer, takes out her paperwork, and within 5 minutes she's going like this. First thing she does, she goes like this, and all of a sudden she's up, standing and scratching her body, and and she ran out of the class.
Wow.
Half hour later, the principal comes in and says, "Mr. Kurtz, can I speak to you?" And I come out and go, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "I know you did this." I did what? He said, "The itching powder. Because only you are twisted and clever enough to come up with something so evil." So he took me down, and then we went across the street, and he bought me a burger. Because we were actually friends. I was sent to the dean's office a lot.
Oh yeah, he'd had you after.
Yeah, so
if you know what I mean.
we stayed there, but I itching powdered my teacher. That was great.
That is actually a pretty good shenanigan. I was actually.
I've
very
done a lot of
impressed with
strange
that.
stuff in my
Well, I'll
life.
tell you what. That actually brings us to our first happy news article.
Oh.
Today, it's going to be teens make a Kansas principal cry with a positive prank at school. Huh? How about that?
That's so
Apparently,
nice.
it's senior prank last week, and it looks like a bunch of seniors out in Kansas decided to throw a little prank for their principal, Sherman Paget. Little did they know they were planning something of a positive, hard-working movement for an administrator. It looks like, let's see. They left an old black pail splattered with paint on his desk. Looks like he finally was like, all right, I'm not holding this bucket. They were trying to get him to hold the bucket. He was like, y'all are going to try and prank me, you know what I'm saying? To the little kids. And they were like, nah, hold this bucket, hold this bucket.
Now we say little kids. What are the age of these children?
High school kids.
All right.
They're little to us. And, illegal
Not
to you.
to.
So,
Oh, shut up.
So he's like, all right, I'll hold your buckets, and he's holding the bucket. Suddenly, the students drop a note in the bucket, then another bucket, and another note in the bucket. They keep on dropping notes into the bucket until the bell rings. And then he opens the notes, and they're all nice little notes for Mr. Paget. I love you, Mr. Paget. You've been making high school real good for me, Mr. Paget. I miss your dick, Mr. Not that one. That's the wrong one.
He used the word dick.
No. Just I miss you, Mr. Paget. He read them all. He was like, "Yeah, this is beautiful." He's like, "I really needed this." He was having a tough time. The kids knew about it. They figured, let's prank him with a little love, dog. What you know about pranks and love, dog?
Oh, yeah.
You know about love. You had an episode last week about love. What do you know about pranks? Have you ever done a good prank?
I've done some, but nothing that I want to put in a recording.
Oh.
I mean, when I was 18, I stole a police car.
But that wasn't like a good prank to like...
No, the prank was, the guy lived 2 doors down from me.
Okay.
And he was just an asshole to everybody in the neighborhood. Just harassed people.
All right.
Constantly. Well, some of the houses had swimming pools in back of them. And they were semi-detached, which means they were 2 attached together. And then there would be a space in between. Well, he left his car running. And everybody in the neighborhood hated him. So I jumped in his car, drove it around, and put it in his swimming pool.
Damn. Did you just serve any time for that?
No, and he backed off on everybody for like a year and a half.
Goddamn.
He mellowed out.
Hey, sometimes it just takes a stiff upper lip and a strong pimp hand.
Well, I did wear gloves just in case because I thought about being fingerprinted. But I was 18,
okay.
Yeah, but they had fingerprinting back then.
Yeah, but 18 back then was 16 now, I'm sure you get away with so much
changes.
more, now than
It's
or
one
back
thing to
then
pull a
versus
prank,
now.
but you can't really hurt somebody. It's not fair.
Well, I'll tell you what. one of
Although
the-
if there's no blood and they fall down, then it's funny.
Right. That's why executions are so funny.
That's true.
Not to...
Did you hear about the guy today
What?
who was in jail for 11 years for murder, and the judge overturned his ruling and set him free
Why?
because it turned out that he was the wrong guy? They booked him because he looked similar to the description from the witness. And they found some DNA saying that it wasn't him. And also somebody found proof that he was at his job on the other side of town. So they let him out of jail, but Trump is still president.
That's not a good prank, though.
No, it's not.
Like,
good.
That's the ultimate prank.
Well, because we were on. See, I went to that because we were talking about jail, and so I thought of that today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a prank.
I think the
Jail's
biggest
a prank.
Yeah.
Jail's the ultimate prank.
But 11 years, and here's the best part. They asked him if he's expecting any financial compensation, and he declined to answer.
So you already know he's going to be
You know he's
You
going
already
to be
know
getting
he's swimming
millions
in
of
greenbacks.
dollars plus all the stitching.
Oh, yeah. At least some stitching.
Oh,
well, I'll
yeah.
tell you what. In this second good news article, the police are actually siding on the side of the pranksters in this one. It looks like the prank that these students pulled off is being called the best senior prank these cops have ever seen.
Well, that's a fine how you do.
I mean, in the midst of graduation season, everybody in America is trying to pull those pranks. Label pigs 1, 2, and 4.
Of course.
Classic pig prank. But it looks like these kids got real creative, you know what I'm saying? They sat down and they took a car, and they made the car look like it busted clean through the wall, my man. Cut it right in half, and they put it right up into the side of the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, they dug brick holes out of it. They made it look like there was a gaping hole in there. They scattered bricks across the scene of the crash. You know what I mean? They called the cops in there. As soon as the cops showed up and everything calmed down, the cops were like, damn, that's a pretty good prank, little homies. Yeah, look at that, huh? That's how they got. When I was a younger gentleman in my school, there was legends. There was a story that the kids took a car apart, whole car apart, and they brought it into, this is back when you had mechanic classes and shit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And they took the whole car apart and they put it into the principal's office, and they rebuilt the whole son of a bitch right back in
Oh,
there.
that's great.
Crazy, right? The whole class, a bunch of kids got together and disassembled a car and put the car back together inside of a high
I
school.
love to hear when things are taken apart and put back together. For instance, this is off the subject, of course, but you know the way my brain works. When I was 10 years old, my grandfather, who had a big drapery and reupholstering company, took me to see the 76ers in Philadelphia. We sat on the court, and after the game was over, Wilt Chamberlain came over and shook my hand.
Oh, damn.
Now, I came up to barely above his knee. And when he shook my hand, put your finger out. One finger. This is the way it was when he shook my hand. My hand looked like a finger in his hands. I swear to God, his fingers almost came up to my elbow.
You're unusually warm for a dead guy.
Thank you. I've been dead for a while. I'm using solar heat. So after that, my grandfather says, we're going out to Wilt's house.
Oh, really?
And I said, what? And he lived out in Huntington Valley in a section called Pitcairn. And he lived in a castle. It was actually a castle that was brought brick by brick from England and reconstructed with 3 turrets and everything.
What?
Yep.
Perry.
This guy,
right.
he was the top level then.
I have such faith in your insane stories, and I'm going to look it up. Go ahead. What happened?
Well, we got there, and there's these giant, 15-foot wooden doors with a big metal knocker.
Uh-huh.
The big ring, like this big around, 4 inches thick. And we knock on it, and an English guy just says, oh, hello, come on in.
No
And
way.
we walk
He
down
had
the
a
hall.
butler?
Yeah. Oh, he had multiple butlers. And then we walk down the hall, and there's suits of armor and famous artists like Degas and Da Vinci and stuff like that on the wall. Then it was worth maybe $50,000. Now they're worth
Wow.
And he showed us around the house and showed us that in the living room, my grandfather made this fancy valance for him that he paid my grandfather like $30,000 for. Multiply that times 10. Well, at least by 8. That's what it would cost. It was glorious. It had lights in it, and it had real gold threading.
God damn. That's
And
crazy.
The house was gigantic. I think it was like 35, 40 rooms or something like that.
Was he bedding beautiful women there?
I don't know about that. I wasn't really aware of it at 10 years old.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
wasn't, I didn't say, yo, you getting any puss in here. I didn't say that.
My name's Perry.
You getting any
Perry
action?
Kurtz, you out there smashing puss,
You getting any action in here, Wilt?
mister?
Yeah,
Well-
out in Pitcairn. That's what the neighborhood was called.
Well, I tell you what, it may not have anything to do with Wilt Chamberlain, but our final good news prank has a little something to do with sports.
Oh,
Uh,
that's good sports. Something I know nothing about,
uh,
but I can spell the word.
you can spell the word
Yeah.
sports. Well, I tell you what, that is a move in the right direction.
All right.
All right. So today's final article is actually going to be in regards to students, and we're getting a lot of students here on this one, but it looks like a lot of students are actually really good at pulling pranks. But these students, it looks like, are doing a prank it forward. Maybe I may have mislabeled this about sports, but Will Chamberlain does a lot of weird things too. Prank it forward. It looks like it changes a waitress's life with a new car and a new job. Looks like a young woman who had a serious eating disorder was able to reform her life through yoga and is now helping others by pranking it forward and giving Los Angeles workers the best shift ever. All right. So it looks like this young lady, what she does is they arrange for someone to tip a random server $1,000.
Wow.
Next, they have someone give that server a voucher for a trip for two to Hawaii.
Whoa.
Right? After that, it jumps up all the way to a present, which includes a new car.
Jeez.
And the lady does it. Susan Cravoy, a clinical psychologist who's opening a center that treats eating disorder. She poses as a customer in order to offer the volunteer or the waitress, all these great things. And I guess it's to help this waitress who has bulimia or something like that.
All right.
Eating disorders. I don't know. I've never had any.
We don't know which end it is.
Hey, I just like to eat, you know what I mean? But there you go. It looks like got recorded and everybody had a great, wonderful time. And how do you feel about pranks for good or fake or even real? You think that's real? You think that came from a good? I mean, we're here at Happy News. We're all about happy,
to
baby.
me, it sounds like something real. And I think that's great because the word pranks, people think of pranks and they automatically assume that it's going to be something horrible.
9:30.
That it's going to be a horrible experience. It's going to be miserable for somebody. But to hear that they pulled a prank like that, which is basically doing something people don't expect and being shocked out the outcome, to do something like that nice, that's really, really good. And
I don't know if I would count it as a prank though, right? Because at the end of prank would have to be like gotcha. They would have to take
that's what I'm
everything away
saying.
from them, right?
It's a prank.
Gotcha, the ultimate prank. I gave you all this great stuff.
What would be the ultimate prank is they get to Hawaii and they don't have a way back.
Yeah.
It's a one-way ticket.
I like
and they
it.
have to sleep on the beach.
Better yet, go to Hawaii. Turns out it's not Hawaii. Desert island. Forced to eat food. Treats the social eating disorder right there on the. They have to eat, or they die.
Well, we all do.
No, I'm saying on the island.
Okay. Well, I think it would just be better if they sent them and didn't have a way back. What do you mean we're stuck here? Oh yeah, and your room reservation was canceled. You're sleeping in the basement.
I would say that would be more of a Happy News ending.
Yeah.
Than my way of doing it. It's more of a Dr. Moreau ending.
I think it's great that they did that. Once in a while you hear about things like that. I mean, you listen to the news. Sunday night, I was driving and on a local news radio station. I'm not going to say what it is, but it starts with a K, and then there's some letters, and then there's 3 or 4 numbers.
Of course.
That one.
That one.
But it's news radio.
Yeah.
And the news reporter was talking about how they had a get-together about the shooting up in Thousand Oaks last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their own little park now.
Mm-hmm.
And she said the members of the get-together enjoyed it so much that they were hoping to do it anally. And in the background, you hear someone go, and then I'm sorry, annually.
Nice.
So I had her put that up on Facebook, and a friend of mine wrote, can't they do both?
Hope she read a teleprompter, and that would be a good prank.
Well, I don't know if she had it in paper, how they're doing
slipped
it
it
these
in.
days.
Slipped it in.
Slipped it in.
Wrap it up, baby.
So yeah, so she did that.
No, really, wrap it up.
So we're done. We got to go. We've got a show coming up here, which we're going to be doing right here in this lovely room that unfortunately you can't see and admire and enjoy. We're going to be doing our open mic here at the Palace Production Center. And we thank you for listening.
It's true.
Tune in. You can find me whenever you want. I'm Perry Kurtz. That's Perry, like as in Perry Como, Mason Winkle, and Katy Perry, and Kurtz, Kurtz.
And where can they find you?
And you can find me at perryfunny.com. That's the name of the website. That's actually not it, but that will take you to perrykurtz.com. Also, you can look me up on YouTube at Perry Kurtz, Facebook Perry Kurtz, Twitter Perry Kurtz, Blogger Perry Kurtz, Instagram. I'm using the name everywhere. I'm branding myself.
I like it. And they can review and download.
Yeah. If you go to my YouTube page, that's where you'll really see a lot. I got about 650 videos, mostly me freestyling, and in a lot of occasions being attacked by young women. I have been Me Too'd many, many times, and it's sometimes they make it really hard for me
to get it back up.
Right, but we find a way. So stop by there, send me some email. I'm at perrykurtz@gmail. Just Google Perry Kurtz, you'll find me. And this is the lovely Bryan.
We'll see you guys
Tassara.
next week.
Take care, be good to each other, and think of some good pranks where good things happen, where people are surprised and they're happy.
Yeah, go prank
What?
some
It's
people.
gonna hurt you? That's
Is it
it.
gonna hurt you?